So let's talk about a different way to think about threat detection. We're not going to talk about ripping out your entire security stack, but instead about making the tools you already have, well, smarter and a whole lot faster. We're going to dig into a technology called CyVectors and see how it's trying to tackle some of the biggest headaches in cybersecurity today. All right, let's just get right to it with the one question that keeps security pros up at night. You've invested a ton in firewalls. You've got top-tier endpoint protection. You have a SIEM. So why, after all that, do the bad guys still get through? It's a huge frustration, right? And usually the answer is, oh, just add another tool. But what if the problem isn't the tool? What if it's the entire playbook we've been using? Okay, let's dive into that. The real issue isn't that your individual tools are bad. They're probably great. It's that the fundamental way we've built our security architecture has these gaps. And you can bet that attackers have become absolute experts at finding and slipping right through them. I mean, think about how a traditional SIEM works. It's a collector, right? It gathers logs from everywhere, then tries to make sense of them. But here's the catch. That whole process takes time. By the time a malicious event is logged, shipped off, processed, and finally flagged as an alert, the attacker isn't just sitting there waiting. No way. They've already moved on. The detection is always playing catch-up. And it gets worse, because our tools tend to live in their own little worlds. Your EDR looks at endpoints. Your network tools watch traffic. But attackers? They don't stay in one lane. They live in the seams between these tools. They exploit those blind spots to hop from a user's machine, across the network, and straight towards your data, often without setting off a single big correlated alarm. So what's the result of all this disconnected, late-arriving data? It's a tsunami of alerts. Your security team is probably drowning in noise, desperately trying to find that one tiny needle of a real threat in a massive haystack of false positives. It's just not sustainable. It leads to burnout, and you know what? It leads to missed threats. This is where the whole approach gets flipped on its head. You see the comparison here. Instead of that old, reactive model that relies on sending everything to the cloud, which is slow and expensive, the idea is to process security data in real time, right where it happens. The goal is to slash the noise, get alerts that actually matter, and maybe most importantly, keep your sensitive data inside your own four walls. So, how do we actually make that happen? Well, it starts with a change in philosophy. It's about letting go of this idea that we can build a perfect, impenetrable wall. Instead, we have to start thinking like the attackers. We need to adopt what the industry calls an assumed breach mindset. Now, assuming a breach doesn't mean you're giving up, right? It's the opposite. It means you're being realistic. Your focus completely shifts. It's no longer just about guarding the front door. It's about actively hunting for threats that are already inside. You start looking for the telltale signs of a compromise, like an endpoint talking to a command and control server, or trying to move laterally to another machine. So how do you put that mindset into practice? Well, the idea isn't to just install another heavy, clunky agent on every single machine. Instead, it's about creating an intelligent distributed sensor grid. It's about getting visibility exactly where you need it most. Think of it like this. Traditional security is kind of like having one camera pointed at your front gate. This approach, this is like putting smart sensors on every single door and window in the house. It places these tiny, lightweight sensors across all the critical parts of your infrastructure, your endpoints, your network traffic, your DNS queries, and even your data storage to spot suspicious patterns the second they happen. And the secret sauce that makes all this possible is something called local AI inference. Basically, each one of those little sensors has its own machine learning brain running directly on it. That means threat detection is instant. It happens right at the source. There's no delay from sending logs to the cloud, and none of your sensitive data ever has to leave your network to be analyzed. It's fast, it's private, and it works even if you're completely disconnected. Okay, so the tech is really cool, but let's get down to brass tacks. What does this actually mean for your security team on a day-to-day basis? What are the real business outcomes here? The biggest, most critical outcome is speed. Because all that analysis is happening right there at the edge, we're not talking about the hours, or let's be honest, sometimes days, it takes a traditional CM to piece things together. We're talking about detecting threats in seconds. And in an active attack, that difference is everything. And the benefits just cascade from there for your team. First, alert fatigue plummets because they're finally focused on high-quality behavior-based alerts, not just noise. You actually get visibility into those blind spots between your tools so you can see things like lateral movement. Your costs go way down because you're not shipping terabytes of logs to the cloud. And you get genuine data privacy because your data stays your data.
Now, this is a really important point. This whole idea isn't about telling you to throw out everything you've already invested in, not at all. The goal is to enhance the tools you already have and make your entire stack more effective.
The philosophy is simple. Know, rip, and replace. This is designed to be a complementary layer of security. Think of it as an intelligent telemetry source that finds the threat, analyzes it, and then feeds that high-quality pre-vetted alert into the tools your team already lives in, whether that's a CM like Splunk or an endpoint platform like CrowdStrike. It's here to make what you have even better. And look, this isn't just a concept. It's built to be practical. It's designed to feed right into major SIEMs like Splunk, ELK, and ArcSight. It can send data to any standard syslog endpoint, which means it plugs right into the workflows your team is already using. So let's just end on this thought. The bad guys are not standing still. The threats we face are evolving every single day. They're faster, they're smarter, they're more creative. Relying only on reactive after-the-fact detection is like bringing a musket to a drone fight. The threats have definitely evolved. It's time our detection did too.